What's up, everyone? Beastmode back here with another video. So today we are going to review the first and second place deck list from the Beastmode Circuit Series. That was Saturday, took place Saturday night. There was 32 players in this tournament, which was one of the bigger ones that we've had. We moved them to Saturdays for right now, just to kind of see how many players we get show up for the event. If you want to play in these tournaments, join the Beastmode Discord server, which will be in the description. They're always free. The winner, in this case, the first and second place players both got an invite to an event that we will hold later on. It'll just be for the winners. It'll be a smaller tournament, probably 32-ish players. And I haven't decided when we're going to hold that, but again, these are fun tournaments. They are not, huge RBET or Deck Devastator levels tournaments, but they are a good place to test decks, competitive decks. We have a lot of great players that show up to them, smaller tournaments, and we can finish them in one evening. Anyway, this was the second place deck. This is Chi Tea or Chai Tea Flamevell, which we never really see. Aside from the Flamevell zombie deck that Fitz piloted to win one of the BCS tournaments, we haven't really seen it again. Many people believe the Flamevell deck is just not good nowadays. This deck did top the actual event, but back in 2010, but it hasn't really done anything since then. Not many people play it. But anyway, this deck here is built very well. I like the ratios of most of the cards here. 2 Magician seem to be the right number. 2 Caius. You just don't want this card is just amazing, but sometimes you can brick on it. I like the 1 Lila, the charge package, so you can kind of mill some of these early and then rekindling. Double rekindling seems to be the right number as well. 3 is kind of bricky, but it is the power card of the deck, so a lot of people often just main deck 3. You can go either way. I don't disagree. Double book, I think, is the right number. A lot of people play triple book just to try to get the fire dog off, but I think 2 is probably right. 2D prison feels right. I like the Starlight Road. Compulse, I've been really, really liking lately. I'm kind of trying decks out without it. I know I posted a Blackwing deck late last week that won the local tournament I played at. That I actually made the deck prior to the tournament and gave it to the player to use, and they won the tournament with it. And also, it looks like somebody commented on that video and also took that Blackwing deck with the main deck double Compulse and the My Bodies in it, and ended up winning a mat at, I don't know if it was a YCS event or a regional event. So Compulse is really good right now is what I'm trying to say. The only card I probably would cut here is the Breaker. We saw it on stream. It just never did anything. I'm not sure the thought behind it. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't. I would rather just cut it and just make the deck 40 personally. But that's about it with what I'd have to say about the main deck. The sideboard here, this card won so many matches on stream. It was putting in so much work. And for a long time, a lot of, I believe Master Restrict has been falling out of, flavor and favor in the sideboard for like pulling the rugs and skill drain because of the fact that an MST or a Dust Tornado can stop it. But this card does so much more than Zombie World because of the fact that they cannot tribute any card. So they can't play enemy controller. You can't use Substitute. You can't use Soul Exchange if they're playing that. There's just so many cards that this shuts down in that deck rather than Zombie World where they just can't play the Monarchs. So I do like this card. I'm going to start testing it again, definitely. This card really stops Frog. So of course they're gonna answer it. They're gonna side deck in a bunch of back row hate and Regeki breaks and all that will come back again. But I'm liking this over because the problem is too you side deck in pulling the rugs and then they start siding in the Frog player will start side decking in Vandy's Fiend. So they're counteracting the pulling the rugs, but they're not able to do that with Massive Restrict. So I do like this card right now. I think this is one of the reasons why they were able to win 5 rounds in a row. Because there was a lot of Frog players in the tournament. So I do like Master Restrict. Consecrated Light. I'm surprised about this because there's a lot of docks in this deck. So I'm not even sure how you're able to fit this in because, you can see how many are here. So this is questionable here. I'm not sure if this would make the cut in the future. I'd have to ask the player again because this is really like Blackwings you already kind of beat. You don't want to take out Spy. Spy is really good against Blackwing, so I'm not sure what else you'd put this in against. It's not that great against zombies because they play enough monsters to out it. So this here, I'm not sure if it was working great for them or not. We didn't catch every one of their games on stream, but we didn't really see it make much of an impact when it was on stream. 1 Royal Oppression. This card's really good here because many people will believe that you need a special summon with a deck, which of course you do, but you can special summon with a Fire Dog and damage step. And if you, let's say you make a big board, you make a Stardust, or you're rekindling, make a Stardust Colossal, then you can just hide behind the Synchros and Royal Oppression everything your opponent tries to do. So this is definitely a good idea. Double Crow Standard, double Cyber Dragon, double Thunder King. So not much I would change about the deck. Not that I'm an expert by any stretch of imagination, but I do like it. I like Flameville. I've been trying to test it a little bit more because I do think that there's some potential with the deck, and I would like to congratulate Chai T again. Great run, and we'll get on to the first place deck. First place deck, Monado Boy, if I'm saying it right, sorry. Zombie player, very good zombie player, actually. I would consider them a very good zombie player. Always active in the forums, in the Discord, and always playing zombies as far as I've seen. So this deck is pretty similar to Soul's build that recently topped with a double DD Crow, I believe. I guess they're all kind of similar in some sense, you know. If you're not playing the Diva Hero, they all kind of look very much the same. But I was testing DD Crow prior to the RBET. I was unable to play in the RBET, but the deck I did have loaded up had one Crow on the main board. So I do like this card right now, but with DD Crow on the main board, you have to like watch meta shifts because you can get caught up really quickly with this card not doing much. If all of a sudden the meta shifts and it's Black Wings everywhere you are, then you don't really want to main deck this card. So online, I think it's probably better, but you should pay attention to what's going on at your locals if you're playing with paper, because this card may not be as good. Gale, often a lot of people are cutting Gale to play the double DD Crow. I don't agree with that. I think Gale is just too good. You have to, if you're playing double Mystic Tomato, you should be playing Gale, in my opinion. I'm trying to look at the difference here. I usually play triple Pyramid Turtle. This here has double. Looks like they're playing 22 monsters. I'm typically on either 20 or 21. Between 20 and 22 is the right number in zombies, I feel, specifically this build. No Burial, which I agree with here. I think Burial is better in the build that I was running with like the Necro Gardener and the Illblood, because you can reuse those cards again, especially because you want to allure the Illblood away. But I have been running decks without the Burial because the card just is a dead draw early. It's a late game beast, but early game it's just not that good. Traps here, one Dust I think feels right because there's too many frog players around. So it's kind of one of those things where you want double Dust because you want to be able to deal with Black Wings and Vayu and Gladiator Beast. But then if you have double Dust, they're just double Dust heavy, and MST is completely useless against frogs pretty much. So that just makes your frog matchup worse. You could also just look at it like I do and say I'm probably going to lose game 1 to frogs anyway, so I don't really care. So I've been main decking double Dust Tornado, but 1 is probably right. I go back and forth. Wing Blast at 1 is right in this deck here with only 2 discard. If you're playing the Illblood and playing the Necro Gardener, you could make the argument to play 2, but this feels right at 1. Starlight Road I really like. It punishes bad players, which you are going to play throughout tournaments, especially early rounds. You set 3 back row and they just try to slam heavy with no real thought, and then you Starlight Road and win the game. So sideboard here, Fossil Dyna is almost a must. This card put in so much work. We caught it on stream, and if you want to watch the live stream, you can. It's on the channel. You can watch pretty much the whole tournament that we stream there. You can watch it at 2 times speed so you can get through it. That's what I would suggest. But Fossil Dyna is almost staple now because of the way frogs play. You can really shut them down. Vortex, you got to have it. Double Compulse, I talked about how much I like this card lately. Double Dust, probably not needed 2 of them. Since you main deck the 1, I think 1, you can cut 1 here. I don't think there's ever a time you really start taking 3 of them unless you play something rogue, maybe burn or something, but I wouldn't argue too much about 3. Karma Cut, I'm curious as to see what they're hitting with this. Obviously Treeborn Frog is 1. You could out any monster on the field, and the goal would be to hit as many cards in the graveyard as you can with it. So probably pretty good against like dragons if you hit the red eyes and then they have a couple copies in the graveyard. So I think this is pretty cool tech. I'd have to talk to the player a little bit more. Light Mirror, gotta have it. Skill Drain's great too. I'm not sure if I like the Master Restrict a little bit more lately because Skill Drain is good if you can. I think it's better in the hero build, the Siltrus build, because of the fact that his deck is so explosive. You can play, you can make a turn 1 Stardust and then sit behind Skill Drain with it, and then they really can't out it. But the problem is this deck doesn't make Stardust that easy, and sure, you have the recruiters to play, but he plays the same amount of recruiters too in that build. So I think this hurts our deck a little bit more than it hurts the hero build deck. If I was on heroes, I'd definitely be playing this, but you can make the argument to play Master Restrict here. because you really are relying on the Caius because you're trying to play a little bit more of a control game. Caius, Brio, and none of that works with Skill Drain. So anyway, these are the 2 deck lists, first and second place. Congratulations to the players. Again, if you all want to play in these, join the Discord server, which will be posted, the link. And again, this week I plan on getting a video out on how to beat Vayu Turbo. That would I know a lot of players are asking about that. I'm going to try to get some film together and formulate the video there. I have been trying to get caught back up on video posting. It's been a holiday recently and the tournament, so I've been doing like one video in a stream a week, but I'd like to get back up to the 2 videos in the stream. So again, next tournament should be probably in the next week or 2. Usually I think we're going to run 2 a month. That way it stays fresh and there's enough, time for everybody to get their decks together and everything. I think 2 BCS tournaments per month is probably the right number. So again, if you all would like, comment, and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. It helps grow the channel. That way we keep interested in doing these things for the community. So I shall see you all on the next one.